Yeah. And I won't waste no time, girl. Yeah. I know that you love my just call me, and I won't waste no time, girl. That's how I make you my girl. That's why you so damn.
Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kinyere, and if you're seeing my face for the very first time, then thank you for stopping by. Obviously there's something in this video that you're interested in. Today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about my nose piercing experience and just tell you guys everything that you need to know. And I know that before you get a nose piercing, most of the time you should have done your research online. There's so much information that you can get online before you get a nose piercing, but to be really honest, I had no idea. To be very honest, I did not do any research at all when it came to getting my nose pierced. I did not. I only looked through pictures of people who had nose piercings, and I don't know, I just felt like there wasn't so much of a big deal around nose piercings. You just get the nose pierced, come home, and then life goes on. But there's, you know, a couple of things I feel are necessary to point out. I'm going to share my experience overall with you and just talk about, you know, the journey from when I got my nose pierced up until now. But before we, you know, get into the main video, let's talk about my hair, y'all. My hair is from UPRETTY Hair, and this one is the Brazilian straight lace front wig, and it comes with a 4x4 lace front with 4 inches long, and then it goes 4 inches all the way down. So I love this hair so much. The density is 180%, so it's not the fullest, and this is how I like straight hair to be. I love how light it is. So I did not bother gluing these areas because I know that these areas will be covered up by hair, so I just sprayed my got2b. I used my got2b, the one in the tube, and then I went in with the spray hair. Just did a little bit of baby hairs just so that it looks as realistic as possible. This is going to be my go-to hair because I love it. So this is all of the hair, and this is what I am fine with. However, if you want hair that is fuller than this, then of course you can go up, you know, with the density. I'll leave the link to the hair and the link to their website so let's go straight into nose piercings. Now I'm going to tell you guys things that I feel are necessary, and hopefully they'll be very helpful. I got my nose pierced in November last year, so November 2018, and that means it's been about 8 months. But if you go online, and if you, even when I went to the piercing parlor where I got my nose pierced, they have like a list where they write out how many months it will take each of your piercings to heal, and the nose piercings had 4 to 6 months. So I was like, yeah, 4 to 6 months. But in the real sense of it, if you hear people's experiences and people who have shared, it can take as long as 9 months to 12 months for your nose piercing to heal. So when it comes to jewelry that you should use in your nose piercing, when you go to like the piercing parlor or whatever, in the one I got mine done, they use surgical steel, and it's stainless steel, but it's a particular grade of stainless steel that they use. But the problem with my own was when they pierced my nose for me with that and they used a corkscrew kind of ring. Now the mistake I made was I did not find out what kind of ring I should put into a piercing that has not healed. I sent my friend a message and I asked her to help me go into any store and get nose rings, which she got for me. I went into Claire's and she got me 2 packs of nose rings. This one, she got me one stainless steel one, and she got me a sterling silver one. Now one of them is a corkscrew one and one of them is an L-shaped one. Now when I tried to wear the stainless steel one, I realized that it was a bit too short for my nose, which is something that you should take into consideration again. I'm still going to come to that. I noticed that the stainless steel one was short for my nose because I have a thick nose, so when I put this in, it was sinking. So I took it out the next day, and you guys, it was a struggle because I was just 4 months in. The nose was still, it hadn't even gone anywhere when it comes to healing, so it was painful to get in, it was painful to get out. I will put the stainless steel one in. I later took it out the next day, and then I went in with the sterling silver. I had no idea. I didn't even check what kind of metal should go into my piercing, but I ended up sticking to the sterling silver. I noticed that my nose was just the same. It wasn't getting better. In fact, at some point it started bringing out pus. Like I'll wake up in the morning and then I'll see like yellow pus, and I'm like, At this point I was almost done. I was like, it's been so long, this piercing should be looking and feeling better than it's feeling at this time. So stainless steel is a very hard metal. You cannot bend this with your hand, but you can bend sterling silver comfortably. I kind of bent the sterling silver to fit into my nose because the piercing was still fresh. So for it to go in, we needed it to be straight. So we straightened it up. When it went in, I kind of bent it again under so that it would, you know, it won't show through under my nostril. So I noticed that when I bent it, I think the tiny stone thing on top became weak. So one day it just fell off, and when it fell off, I pulled out the stick from underneath my nose and it was black. Like the part that goes into the hole was black. I went online and then I saw that you should not use sterling silver in a nose piercing that has not healed. Your girl had no idea. I had no idea, and that was the reason why my nose wasn't healing at all. So lucky for me, I found a page on Instagram. I ordered one immediately and they sent it down to me, and the one I ordered was surgical steel. It came in a set of 6. I think I bought it for 3,400 naira or so. That was when I realized that I had very, like, my nose flesh is fat. That's when I realized that I had fat flesh. I begged the seller to help me exchange the rings, which she did. She didn't collect the one I had used. All of these nose rings have very funny angles, and the whole idea is so that they can stay in and not come out. So putting them in when you have a fresh piercing is so difficult to do. So the L-shaped one has a very funny angle. You have to put it in a certain kind of way. It just was not going in. So what I did was I just used a plier, and because it's surgical, the surgical steel is very hard. You cannot straighten it with your hand. So even with a plier, it was so difficult, but I used the plier, I straightened it up, and then I put it in. The good thing is that when the rings are straight, they go in very easily. So I straightened it up and then I put it in, and that's what I've been wearing since then. So when it comes to caring for your nose piercing, when I just got my nose done, I was given a saline solution in a bottle. So when it was done, I went into a store and then I got sea salt. So you can use sea salt, do a sea salt rinse. Some people, you know, put sea salt in a bowl with warm water and then just dip their nose in for a few minutes and then, you know, bring your nose out, and then that's what they do morning and night. But for me, I did it for about 2-3 months and then I stopped. So the only time I continued doing it was when I was having issues with like pores coming out of my nose. Then I started doing it again because I really felt like it was necessary. So another thing I want to talk about is nose bumps. You can get nose bumps. Sometimes it can be a sign of infection. Sometimes it's just because you hurt the area. So it has happened to me so many times. I probably snagged my nose ring with my sponge, or my children hit my nose by mistake, and I bought lavender oil. This is the one I got this from a pharmacy. I don't know what brand it is. It just has Care Plus and then it has aromatherapy written on it. So this is the lavender oil I got this one for 2,400 naira, and it's almost finished because I had another bump along the line, and it's a 10 ml bottle. So it just has this small hole at the tip. So what I do is that I just drop a little bit of this on a cotton board and I just use it to clean that area. Or you can wash your hands, put some of it on your hand and then just tap on that area. It took it about, I think, 1 week or 1 week plus, and it was gone, like gone flat. I used to use it morning and night, but then I started using it only at night, and then sometimes I don't even use it in a full day. But what happens is that the more often you use it, the quicker it gets dry. Another thing that I had no idea about is that nose rings come in different lengths. Like I told you guys, I figured out that I have fat nose flesh. So nose rings come in 5 mm length, 6 mm length, and 7 mm length. So this is what the L-shaped one looks like. So when you want to measure this, you measure from the end of the stone down to just before you have the curve or like the bend, because you're not supposed to measure the bend. The bend is going to go under your nose. So the whole idea is to measure the length of the stem that is going to just stand straight in your nose. That's what you're supposed to be measuring. So another thing is, when it comes to the setting, that means the kind of ring that you want. So they have the prong one and then they have the bezel ones. The prong one is the one that it's like a 4-corner, it's like a square that holds the stone. So you have like just 4-corner thing just sitting like this. If you guys know how like wedding rings, some wedding rings look like, they have this 4-corner thing that's just holding the stone up, and the bezel one are just the round ones that just have the stone sitting flat on them. Now the prong ones I really like because they stand out. If you follow Alisa Ashley, she wears the prong one, so they really stand out. If you take up close pictures, even if you don't take up close pictures, they just sit on your nose, like you can see them from far away. And I have the prong one here. The stainless steel one my friend got me is a prong one, but then they also have the bezel one. The bezel one is the type I'm wearing now, so that one is just a flat setting. And the good thing about the bezel one is that it doesn't get caught up in a lot of things. So if you're cleaning your face with like cotton wool or like a cotton pad, you don't get you don't have fiber stick into it because there's nothing to hook it. It's just flat, round or square, whatever shape you get. So it's just flat. Your sponge would hardly get stuck into it because there's really nothing to, you know, there's nothing for it to hold on to. The bezel like the one I'm wearing now, I don't get anything stuck in it. It's just flat. It just lays flat on my nose. Something else I also want to mention about jewelry type is you get your nose pierced, it is so tempting to switch to jewelry that you really like, because I mean I was so tempted to do that, and that's why mine took longer to heal. There are certain kinds of jewelry that you can use, like I mentioned before. You can use surgical steel, which is a particular grade of stainless steel. I think it's called 618 or 918L, I think, I'm not sure. You can also use 14 karat gold, you can use 18 karat gold from what I read, and you can use titanium. So those are more expensive than surgical steel. Once your piercing is healed, you can use practically anything depending on how your body reacts to it. So if you want to get your nose piercing, you know, definitely do it, girl. It's cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and leave me a comment. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
That's how I make you my girl. That's why you're so damn fine, girl. Just call me and I won't waste your time, girl. That's how I make you my girl. That's why you're so damn fine, girl. Come to my ears now. You're gonna get left down.